Welcome back. You're still watching Nile Cruise, and we're still joined with Dr. Ahmed Mahanna, political analyst, and we're continuing our talk around the new era. What's going to come from the Prime Minister, the Cabinet, the upcoming Parliament. But again, if we move back to the same point, which is the dreams and hopes of Egyptians. So the Egyptians definitely have a lot on their mind. We have issues with electricity, with water, with resources, traffic jams, roads, a huge amount of accidents across the roads. Basics that needs to be tackled swiftly with a set of rules and laws to be implemented. Do you think we should expect a swift and unconventional, to bug the trend, solutions
to resolve these issues quickly,
because there is a lot to be done.
That's right.
In easy manners, but never done.
First of all, we've got the culture of development in terms of expecting things with a high return and quick return. Things will take time. We are in a major debt, reaching 1.7 trillion. We've got a lot of problems, as you kindly mentioned, in security, traffic, education, lots of things. So let me put it in two different directions. We're going to have to work parallelly, long-term and short-term. In planning, we say, plan for tomorrow, today's problem will be solved. The failure or the disadvantage of the previous governments, we were always focusing on solving today's problem, focusing on bread today, focusing on traffic today, and tomorrow you're going to have, tomorrow you're going to have a new problem, and you're always going to be tackling problems, have no time, the daily life. So in planning we say that we need, number one, is a 50-year plan, and then we start going backwards into a periodic plan, 10 years, 5 years, 12 months, 6 months, and 3 months. And this is all, we've got the experts to do this in Egypt. The job here is for President Sisi and the new cabinet is to start looking for these people that already, most of them immigrated and left the country because of their ignorance. So what we need at the moment is a plan that works on a long-term vision, taking into account the mega plans like the energy, the development of Sinai, the development of Toshka and the New Valley. In terms of the short-term plans, there is a number of steps that need to be taken. The implementation of the lower labor rate and the highest labor rate. We're talking about 22 billion Egyptian pounds that we don't know where they're going. They're all going to councillors. I don't know what they do. And probably some of them are councils in different companies. So number one. Number two, the administrative reform and closing the tap on the waste of resources. At the moment, if you look at the energy itself, we've got about 20% or 19% wastage in the energy transport. So what we have at the moment is a problem to do with how the country is managed. And I think with the combating corruption, dealing with illiteracy, fixing the education system, fixing the administrative reform, Egypt will start witnessing...
Actually stressing as well on education.
Absolutely.
As the main top priority for actually just shaping our nation again.
Absolutely. And I'll give you an example now that is absolutely unique, and it counts for $1 trillion Egyptian pounds, 1 trillion
all
Egyptian
the
pounds
curriculums
per
need to be
annum.
changed.
Absolutely.
Everything has to be updated.
When we talk about administrative system, or the reform administrative system, we're referring to 3 points. People that are corrupt or ignorant or uneducated, unqualified. And institutions that need to be reformed in a shape that suits New Egypt. 3, laws, rules and regulations that are very old and full of loopholes. But going back to your point, there is a sector that counts for 1 trillion Egyptian pounds, and that money is already in Egypt, is the informal sector. When we talk about economy, we've got 2 sectors. The formal sectors, all the companies that are registered, formal investors, internal or external, but we've got the informal sector that counts for 1 trillion Egyptian pounds, but no tax coming from it. No data around how many people works, ranging about 6 million people working in that sector. And we're talking about sailors and sellers in the street. taxi drivers,
Yep.
and a lot of professions, dancing and singing, and a lot of things that counts for 1 trillion Egyptian pounds. So the country has no problem when it comes to financial resources or even physical and natural resources. The third point is the point of how we manage our resources. At the moment, if you look at the crowds in Cairo, counting for about 15 million people, look at that from a loss that we're facing in terms of energy. 72% of the aid provided by the government is going to energy. 48% is going to diesel. And if you look at it, probably 25% is wasted on the roads in heavy traffic. So if we manage this, this is definitely going to take us to the new level where we're going to be able to feel the new Egypt with just saving wasted financial resources as well as natural resources. And this is why the redesigning of the provinces, according to the second crossing before the presidential election was introduced, that redesigning the provinces is step number one, is redesigning the provinces and enable each province or a governorate to contribute by whatever resources it has and by whatever manpower it has, skills and expertise, to the national economy overall.
Well, Dr. Ahmed Mahanna, we'd like to thank you very much.
Thank you
so much for joining us and giving us this overview for this week. And now we have a report that's coming up. The first Moroccan Arts Festival was held recently in Cairo. And Rasha Mahdi has this report, so let's see all about it. Stay with us.